might say, of course, it can be nothing more damaging than that backlash against the former royal called Meghan Markle, aka the Duchess of Sussex, other than this recent outburst, particularly when you consider that it all started off oh so well. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. I hope you're well. By the way, the pictures at the side of your screen right now are of the brilliant theatre in the very heart of Leeds, the world famous City Varieties. Now, for those of a, shall we say, older generation, you may remember this as the theatre for the brilliant Good Old Days show, which ran for over 25 years on BBC TV. As you can see, it's still going strong now, and that particular signage where you see the boxes in the circle actually was the original entrance. And when I was a child, I remember you all went down there. It was a far better entrance than the one you see now. It had a little bit more magical power, and there was a lady in the box office. It always seems strange, doesn't it, when you go back and look at things and think, why would you just stick the bins in the back of it there, you know? Anyway, it's owned by Leeds Heritage Theatres now, so I'll leave that one hanging with you to work out that obviously they thought this was a better idea. Back as ever though to your breaking royal story of the day. Now, as one can imagine, this has been very tricky for Meghan Markle moving forward, as she now decides that, you know, she doesn't really need the title. She's known as Meghan, as her team have told her. That is a brand new team, of course, with her brand new agency. You know, they're kind of looking for the thing, you know, a little bit like Madonna and Kylie, where a single name basically conjures up everything you need to know about that particular artist. You would say the same of Madonna, pop icon, been around decades, you know exactly what she's selling. Perhaps you may feel the same in the modern day era of something like Kim Kardashian and indeed Gwyneth Paltrow. As I say, this is the push forward. But now the bigger problem, and this is an interesting story, because if you remember I think it must be about 18 months ago now, the infamous Gayle King from CBS Morning Show basically proclaimed, if you recall, that Meghan had the receipts, apparently the receipts of how tough it was within the British monarchy. Seems though that she's got receipts now on how tough it was to become a Spotify audio star. Let me explain. You see, as that particular individual, the executive that allegedly signed Meghan Markle for millions of dollars and then only received X amount of episodes, despite pushing, despite offering, with all the assistance of 25 producers, well, apparently Meghan is firing up and ready to hit back, because obviously she claims, and as ever we have to say allegedly, that they have positive feedback from Spotify, who were thrilled, delighted, ecstatic, apparently with the guest list that both Meghan and Harry had conjured up. You know, the likes of Jamelia Jamil, and yes, Mariah Carey, Serena Williams, yeah. And it was that. And not only that, the company were absolutely thrilled when her Archetypes podcast won an award, and on top of that, hitting #1 in the podcast charts. Now, this is what all good companies do to keep you on side, you know. I find this very reticent, really, of Meghan to believe that, in fact, they would believe she was doing a great job. They were pushing ahead, hoping to have more content. But as I told you before, the biggest problem for Meghan with the Spotify deal was that they actually wanted Prince Harry involved. And Meghan said this was her project. Harry said this was her project. Spotify thought they were getting them both, or at least some content. And apparently, if this particular executive keeps pushing ahead with the negativity and damaging the brand of said Meghan Markle, they're ready to produce their version, their side of the story. Ooh, I told you this could be more exciting than an episode of Archetypes. Neil Sean in the very heart of a beautiful English countryside.